When I've had an opportunity to talk with someone who's been in an aviation accident, almost always they've lost a treasured member of their family. Someone decides to go in a small plane, whether for business or for pleasure, and unfortunately there's a problem with that flight and there's a plane crash. The emotional status of the people I end up interacting with is they're devastated. It's catastrophic, it's sudden, it's very unexpected, and they've had no exposure to the circumstances they find themselves in, and so they don't have the first idea of what the process is to obtain the answers that they're looking for. And so I try to sit down with them and explain the process that is typically involved in an aviation accident. Because it's a small airplane accident that requires, more often than not, an extensive investigation to determine what happened, I think once they understand the process, that's helpful to them so that they understand what to prepare themselves for as far as what that step of the process is going to look like. I also need to help them understand what the law is as it relates to aviation accident claims, what that means in terms of what we will have to prove in order for them to have a successful claim. That oftentimes involves engaging experts. It involves a discussion about the types of damages that are claimed, which include both economic damages and non-economic damages. Again, this is unfamiliar territory to pretty much everyone who I'm meeting with, and so I try to carefully walk them through, help them understand what they need to understand, help you evaluate whether that's a process that you want to pursue or not. In order to make a good choice of who to hire as a lawyer for an aviation accident, you have to be very thoughtful. Often that will call for a lawyer from the jurisdiction where the incident occurred. In this case, we're talking about Idaho, and so I think there are a lot of advantages to having an Idaho lawyer. Sometimes it could be a complex product liability type of situation where there's been a product failure, and essentially the problem you're trying to solve is, how do I find a lawyer who can represent me, who has the training and experience with this particular type of incident, who will give my case the time and attention it requires. The truth is, it's certainly better to engage that lawyer earlier versus later. If you haven't engaged a lawyer, you may miss out on certain opportunities. And so while it can seem overwhelming, I think it's really important to take the step of hiring a lawyer to advise you earlier versus later.